10 days ago, I sat down in this seat and started a conversation I wasn't entirely sure I was ready to have. I talked about layoffs, about hiding, about the assets you're sitting on, about packaging, about income streams, about the SAM formula, about your story as intellectual property, about the offer architecture that makes people buy. And yesterday, day 9, I told you something I've never said publicly before. I named what was mine, out loud, on camera. And I want to tell you what happened after I stopped recording. I sat in the same seat, right here, for a few minutes. And for the first time in a long time, I felt like I was taking up exactly the right amount of space. Not too much, not too little, the right amount. And I realized that feeling is not the reward for claiming your power. That feeling is what's been available to you the whole time. You just have to decide to step into it. Today, day 10, is about how you do that. Not internally, not philosophically, not in the excavation of what you are and what you know. Externally, publicly, in the market. Because being seen is not a personality trait. It's a business decision. And today I'm going to show you exactly how to make it. 10 days. Days 1 through 3. We diagnosed the world, the psychology, the inventory. Days 4 through 5. We built the packaging, the income streams. Day 6 through 7. We communicated the SAM formula, the story as IP. Day 8, the offer architecture. Day 9, the activation gap, the declaration. Today, day 10, we go external. Because here's the truth about everything we've built over the last 9 days. None of it generates revenue while it stays inside you. The framework in your head doesn't earn. The packaged offer that nobody knows about doesn't convert. The intellectual property you've named but have not published does not compound. Visibility is not the cherry on top of the work. Visibility is the work becoming useful. And in 2026, with the most competitive, most AI-driven content environment in history, visibility is not something that happens to you when you're ready. It's something you engineer deliberately, systematically, repeatedly. Today, I'm giving you the engineering blueprint. I want to start with the biggest lie about visibility I see costing smart people real money every single day. The lie sounds like this. When I'm more established, I'll show up more. When I have more content ready, I'll start posting consistently. When I feel more confident, I'll put myself out there. When the time is right, visibility will feel natural. These are not plans. These are permission slips you're waiting for that are never going to arrive. Because here's what the research on personal branding and visibility in 2026 is telling us. And it is telling us this clearly. Visibility doesn't come from volume or style. It comes from making your expertise easy to understand, easy to verify, and easy to recognize across platforms and search systems. Read that again. Easy to understand, easy to verify, and easy to recognize. Not perfect, not polished, not fully established. Easy to find. And right now, today, with 10 days of this series behind me and audiences that are watching me show up, I'm already easier to find than I was on day 1. But here's the trap most people fall into. They wait until visibility feels comfortable before they pursue it. And visibility never feels comfortable before you pursue it. It only feels comfortable after. After the first video got more views than you expected. After the first comment from someone who said, "This is exactly what I needed to hear." After the first DM from someone who found you through a reel or bought a book and booked the call. The comfort comes from the evidence, and the evidence only comes from showing up before you feel ready. There's no other sequence, which means the question is not, when will I feel ready to be visible? The question is, what is my visibility strategy starting today? That's what we're building right now. I want to redefine visibility for you because I think most people are operating with a definition that is simultaneously too big and too small. Too big. They think visibility means going viral, getting 1 million views, landing a major podcast, being everywhere at once. Too small. They think visibility just means posting more content, showing up on social media, being active online. Neither of those definitions is what I mean. Here is how I define visibility as a revenue strategy. Visibility is the consistent, deliberate act of making your expertise findable by the specific person who needs it the most at the exact moment they need it. That's it. Not viral, not omnipresent, not famous, findable by the right person at the right moment. And the research on how people discover experts in 2026 tells us something profound about what that actually required. The old model, post content, rank and search, get found. The new model, build authority signals so consistent and so clear that when someone, human or AI, goes looking for expertise in your specific domain, your name is the answer that surfaces. Not because you post the most, because you built the deepest, clearest, most consistent signal around a specific body of knowledge. The researchers studying this right now put it plainly. The real question in 2026 is not how visible are you? It is, are you the source that gets selected when someone asks the question you were built to answer? Selected. Not discovered by accident, not stumbled upon, selected. Because increasingly, as AI systems become the front door to information, as search engines deliver answers instead of links, as people ask ChatGPT or Perplexity or Claude for recommendations before they go to Google, the experts who get selected are not the most famous ones. They are the ones who have built the clearest, most consistent, most credible signal around their area of expertise. That signal is built through repetition, through consistency, through showing up in the same place with the same message around the same body of knowledge over and over and over. This video series is that signal being built in real time. Every day you post, every reel that goes out, every newsletter that lands, every LinkedIn post that carries the same intellectual DNA. You're not just creating content. You're building an infrastructure of findability, and findability is the engine of revenue. Let me give you the framework I use when I think about visibility as a revenue strategy. Because once you see it this way, you will never treat content creation as a performance again. I break visibility into 4 decisions. Make all 4, and your visibility strategy runs like a system. Leave any one of them unmade, and you have an activity without architecture. Decision 1, where? Not everywhere, somewhere. The research on this is decisive in 2026. Individuals who stay rooted in a defined set of platforms build a clear authority profile. Their content compounds. Their visibility does too. When someone spreads across every platform with scattered signal, the algorithm can't place them. The audience can't track them. And the AI systems build authority profiles around named experts can't find them. Pick your primary platform and own it. Your primary is where your professional credibility is already established. Wherever the person who makes high-ticket buying decisions spends their professional time. For most coaches and consultants and executives, that is a professional network, not a social feed. Your secondary platform is your long game engine, the place where your content lives permanently, compounds in search, and builds an authority archive that works for you whether you post that day or not. Everything else is distribution, amplification, the spokes that drive traffic back to those two wheels. Own your primary, own your secondary, distribute everywhere else. That is your where. Decision 2, what? Not everything you know, one thing, expressed in infinite variation. Here's what the research tells us about how authority gets built online in 2026. When a creator stays anchored to a small cluster of topics, their content compounds. Their visibility does too. When someone talks about careers on day one, supply chain the next, and personal development after that, the system can't place them. I am about one thing, the monetization of expertise, the translation of lived experience into income producing assets, the movement from knowledge in your head to wealth in your hand. Every video, every post, every newsletter, every reel, it's a different angle on that one thing. The SAM formula is an angle. The 18 income streams is an angle. The Telly Award story is an angle. The activation gap is an angle. The IP versus real estate thesis is an angle. One body of knowledge, infinite entry points. That's your what? Decision 3, how often? Consistency beats frequency every time. The research is clear. Posting 3 times a week for a year outperforms posting 3 times a day for a month. In authority building, in algorithm trust, in audience retention, and in revenue generation. This series is daily because I'm in a launch window. 30 days of daily content is a sprint that serves a specific goal. Seeding the audience, building the funnel, enrolling the founding cohort. After the sprint, sustainable rhythm matters more than a maximum volume. 3 long-form videos a week, 2 platform posts, 1 newsletter, 5 to 10 short clips distributed from existing content. That is a visibility system that runs without burning you out. And here is where automate then delegate principle becomes your competitive advantage. The content creation is the thing you cannot automate. The recording, the thinking, the real-time delivery. That is irreducibly you. But the distribution, the clipping, the scheduling, the cross-posting, that is a system. You have tools for this. Tools that pull short-form clips from long-form video. Tools that handle live distribution. Tools that hold your funnels and your follow-up sequence. Tools that connect systems everyone says can't talk to each other. You record once. The system does the rest. That's how you stay visible without staying exhausted. Decision 4, what it points to. Every piece of content you create needs to point somewhere. Not vaguely toward your brand, not generically toward your website, to a specific next step for a specific person at a specific level of readiness. For the person just discovering you, it points to the book, $29.99, low friction, high value, the entry point that begins the relationship. For the person who has been watching this series, who has read the book, who is filling the activation gap closing, it points to the clarity call, the conversation that leads to Trailblazer. For the person inside Trailblazer, it points to the community, the coaching, the curriculum, deeper in. Every piece of content is a door. Every door should open somewhere specific. When you know what your content points to, creating it becomes easier because you're not just expressing ideas into the void. You're building a path, And every post is another step on the path for someone who's ready to walk it. I want to leave you with one reframe that I think will change how you feel about showing up, especially on the days when it feels performative or pointless or like nobody's watching. Visibility is not performance. Visibility is documentation. When you show up and record a video, you're not performing for an audience. You are documenting who you are and what you know at this exact moment in time. You're building an archive. You're creating the body of evidence that the right person will find. Maybe today, maybe in 6 months, maybe 2 years from now when they're ready. That tells them this person has been here, been consistent, has been building something real for a long time. And that evidence is what trust is built from. Not the viral video, not the perfectly produced content, not the moment when the algorithm finally decides to show you to 1 million people. The archive, the consistent, deliberate, patient accumulation of proof that you showed up over and over and said the real thing. I'm no longer hiding the work. I am building a body of work. That distinction changed everything for me. And I believe it will change everything for you. I want you to know something. You're not the same person you were when you clicked play on day one. Something has shifted. I know it because I can feel it in the messages coming in the comments, in the DMs, from people saying this series is doing something they didn't expect. That shift is not just intellectual. It's positional. You have moved, even slightly, from someone who knows they have value to someone who is beginning to see exactly how to deploy it. Now the question is, what do you do with the next 10 days? The book is the first step. No net worth, $29.99, free shipping, ebook immediately. Everything we've covered in this series and more, with exercises, with structure, with the full methodology mapped out. The link is in the description. And if you're ready to stop consuming this content and start building the thing, Trailblazer is where that happens. Curriculum, coaching, community, system, visibility strategy, offer architecture, all of it built together in a room with people doing the same work. Founding price is $2,000. After 50 seats, it goes to $6,000. We're filling those seats right now. The clarity call is in the link in the description. 20 minutes. Come ready to tell me what you're building and where you're stuck. That's all. The researcher studying how authority gets built online in 2026 says this. Visibility doesn't come from volume or style. It comes from making your expertise easy to understand, easy to verify, and easy to recognize. Not famous, not viral, not everywhere. Easy to find by the right person at the right moment. You have spent 10 days making yourself easier to find. Every video is a signal. Every post is a signal. Every reel is a signal. Every newsletter is a signal. Every clarity call you book is a signal. And signals compound, slow at first, and then all at once. Keep showing up. Come back tomorrow, day 11. We're going to talk about the content system that never runs dry. How to build a framework that generates ideas on demand so you never sit at a camera again and wonder what to say. Share today's video with someone who has been waiting to feel ready before they show up. Tell them the readiness comes after, not before. Let's go.